What's up, everybody? I'm back. I'm going to do a quick little Bible study on living by faith and not by sight. This is kind of hitting the topic of worrying or having troubles with life or going through trials and tribulations from a different angle. This is a requested video. So you look in 2 Corinthians verse 5, or chapter 5, verse 7, it says, live by faith and not by sight. So think about that. Living by faith. What does that mean? How would we explain faith to someone if they didn't know what it was? It's easy. Is faith the same thing as believing? And what does it mean? What does sight mean? Like living by sight. What does that mean? Okay. I'm going to break this down. Okay. You can figure out what faith is in Hebrews chapter 11 verse 1. It's faith is being sure of what we hope for and certain of the things unseen. Okay. Being sure of what we hope for. Okay. So all the promises God has made, be sure that these are going to happen. Don't so much as hope they're going to happen. You know, be sure of it. And certain of the things unseen. Okay, now let's think of some things that we're certain of that we can't see, or that we should be certain of. Obviously, first thing that comes to mind is the air. Okay, the wind. We can't see it, but we know it's there. We can breathe it in. That's what's giving us oxygen. Gases, we can't see them necessarily, but we can feel them. We can feel the wind. We don't know where it's going or where it came from, but we can feel it. We know it's there. That's the same way with God. Okay? We have to have faith that God is actually right there by us. Or, however, if we don't have that faith, okay, if we actually truly believed and had faith that God was actually with us all the time, if you're a Christian, He is with you all the time. Okay? If we actually was really believing in that, we would not sin at all. If we could physically see Him, touch Him, talk to Him, we would be saints, 100% saints, and not mess up one bit. And if we did, we'd be begging for forgiveness. But sad truth is, most people don't have that kind of faith. And it does not take much faith to do that. So ye of little faith. If that's the way you handle your life. You truly don't believe that He's always with you 100%, and He is, watching your every move. Okay? You go down in that verse, 11, or go down in the verses in that chapter, it says, without faith it is impossible to please God. Okay? And down through that, you see the people of faith, the great people of faith. This is kind of like the Faith Hall of Fame right here. Here's one that stand out to me. Noah, he had a ton of faith. God only told him once. Okay, He didn't keep reminding Noah, hey, you need to get on this ark. You need to build this ark. And God told him it's going to rain. Water's going to fall from the sky. And before then, it never rained before. So, that would be real hard, real easy for Noah to be like, what are you talking about, God? But God warns us in the Bible, okay? Very plain and clear. And He expects us to only, see this once and be able to act on it, okay? He only told Noah once, and bam, he started on this ark. Everyone thought he was crazy, but he had faith. He had true faith. And he preached the word up and down. Everybody, no one listened besides his family. And there we go. He's saved and his family's saved. Abraham, when he offered Isaac, he didn't know that God was going to, stop him from killing his son Isaac, but he was going to sacrifice Isaac for God. And that takes a lot of faith. If you're going to sacrifice your only son, just like God did with Jesus, He sacrificed His only son. That's kind of like a little Old Testament connection right there. Abraham was going to sacrifice Isaac, okay? But God put a halt on that. Moses had to have a lot of faith when he was took up, and made kind of royalty almost. He was a very bad speaker, and God told him, go out and tell the pharaohs and tell your people what's going on. And Moses was like, I'm not a very good speaker. I can't do that. And God was like, I created your mouth. I know what you can do. Okay, so do it. And Moses did it, and took a lot of faith for him to actually get all that done and escape. And took a lot of, how much faith does it take to walk up to a Red Sea and bam, spread that sucker apart with your staff? That's a lot of faith. It's a lot of faith to be able to walk off a boat and be able to walk on the water, just like Jesus and Peter did. Obviously, he had a lot of faith when he had to go through the promised land. All the people were like, what the heck's going on here? You just brought us out in a desert to kill us, basically. We'd rather be in Egypt where we could actually survive. But God was going to take care of them anyway. And that takes a lot of faith to not save up your manna that fell from the sky and from the Israelites, and took a lot of faith whenever they had to go march around Jericho and blow the trumpets. And God said He's going to plunder the city, and they actually fell outward the walls, and ended up killing everybody in the city, and they took it over and all that good jazz. All these men of faith, and there's so many more people in the Bible. I'm not going to go through everyone that had faith and lived by faith and not by sight. Okay? All these people lived by faith, not by sight. They didn't care what they saw, what they were faced with. They knew God was going to take care of it. Okay? So these people paved the way for us. All right? Now, are we going to keep paving the way for future Christians, or are we just going to kind of put a halt on this and get scared and kind of cower down? Are we going to do that? James 2, verse 14 through 26, that main whole little piece right there talks about, what faith is and how we're supposed to use it. But the main verse I'm looking at right here is James 2:17, and it says, faith without works is dead. Okay? So it does no good to have faith, but not actually go out and live by faith. It says live by faith. Do everything you do by faith. Okay? Don't just have faith in something and don't do anything with it. You have to actually live by it. You have to do everything you do. You got to do it by faith. So that knocks out that part of the verse in 2 Corinthians 5:7. Live by faith, not by sight. That takes care of the faith part. So what does it mean to live not live by sight? Okay. Now think about this. If you don't live by sight, or if you do live by sight, you're going to be worried about everything, which a lot of Christians are. They're so worried. They're worried about losing money when they give tithe money and everything. They worry about, not being able to participate in something if they have to go to church. And that's worry. Do not worry. Put it in God's hands. Okay? Like I said, if these people that I just mentioned, if they didn't live by faith and they lived by sight, we wouldn't have the blessings that we do today. I mean, this road wouldn't be paved. We'd have to be living like that. Okay, and that takes a ton of faith for all of them to do that. Right? So we need to live by faith. We need to do what the Bible is telling us to do wholeheartedly. If you see someone else not living by faith, you see not a Christian, even if you look up to this Christian and you see him living by sight and not by faith, that does not give you the reason to cower down and be like, well, he's even a better Christian than me, and he's living like that, so I might as well be able to do it. God doesn't put these people, the Christians, on pedestals. If you're a Christian, you all are equal, okay? You all are running the race to live, okay, in the afterlife, so to speak. God really wants to be able to see you on Judgment Day and say, well done, my good and faithful servant. My good and faithful servant, okay? He wants to say that you have served me, you have done what you said you were going to do when you professed to be a Christian, when you got baptized, when you put all this, laid all this stuff down on the line and on the table for me to save you. God has paid the ultimate price for you. He sent His only Son to die on the cross for you. And if you're gonna let that just happen in vain, and you're not gonna start living for God, you're not gonna do the things He asked us to do, then you're not living by faith. I'm sorry, but you're not living by faith. If you're worrying about every little thing here and there, you're not living by faith. You don't have faith that God is going to take care of you. That's plain and simple. Like I said, if you're going to let these simple things take control of your life, and you're going to get anxiety over it, and it just tears up your mind, tears up your heart, you're going to lose motivation. You're going to lose all hope. And God is our hope. Jesus is our hope. So, and now think of it as this. You think you got it hard. You're living in the United States. You got a roof over your head. You got food. Now, how much are you going to be complaining if you were the kids in Africa, starving? You only get like a half a meal a day. Maybe not even that. You might not even get fed but once a week. And people are dying over there. Okay? Stop being so selfish. Please stop being so selfish, because it's wearing off on other people, other Christians. Right? Don't worry about yourself. Help others. Jesus went out of His way to help others and preach to others. When they're trying to help Him, they say, you want some food or anything? No, I got the bread of life. Or, you know, I'm the one that wants to help you. I don't want you to try to help me. Okay? You don't have to help me. I want to help you. So basically, stop complaining. It could always be worse. Always be worse. I don't care how bad you got it. I don't care if you get beat. I don't care if people yell at you or make fun of you for being a Christian. What did Jesus have to go through to save us? Okay? What did Jesus have to go through? He went all kinds. I mean, martyrs in the Bible. John the Baptist got his head chopped off. I mean, people were dying. People suffered some really cruel ways, because they lived by faith. Okay, and I'm not saying that to just discourage you away from living by faith. But listen, they did it. They did their part. All right, now it's time for you to do your part. So basically, live by faith. I didn't mean to make it so long, but live by faith. Stop worrying. It could always be worse on you, and suck it up. And like I said, faith without works is dead. It doesn't you no good to have faith at all if you're not going to go out and live by faith. Okay? All right. That's all I got for you. Love you guys. Let's go to God in prayer. Dear Lord Heavenly Father, we thank you for another day, another night that you've helped us come together and learn more about you. I just pray that we all, not just some people out there, not just the people who are listening, that we'll all live by faith. Okay? If we're going to confess in your name, okay, we need to live by it. And we actually need to use your word to help others live by faith and not by sight. Even though things look tough and look unbearable, it's never as bad as it seems. There's always people suffering more than us. So let's just please get that through our heads, Lord, and stop complaining and live a joyful life for you and continue to spread your word. And we just thank you for everything your Son has done for us. Thank you for all the people that paved the way for us. And thank you for actually giving us the opportunity to do all this for you. And like I said before, it does us no good to have the opportunity if we're not going to use it, Lord. And we just love you so much. Guide, guard, and direct us in our daily lives. Forgive us when we fail you, and hear our prayers. It's in your Son's precious and holy name that we do pray. Amen.